Matthew Langford Perry, born on August 19, 1969, and passing on October 28, 2023, was an American and Canadian actor. He gained international fame for starring as Chandler Bing on the NBC television sitcom Friends from 1994 to 2004. His death was widely mourned by fans and colleagues alike, as he was a beloved figure in television and entertainment. Perry's legacy includes his memorable performances and his openness about his struggles with addiction, which he addressed candidly in his later years. Matthew Langford Perry was born in Williamstown, Massachusetts, on August 19, 1969. Perry's parents separated when he was 1 year old, and his mother married Canadian broadcast journalist Keith Morrison. He was raised by his mother mostly in Ottawa, Ontario, but he also lived briefly in Toronto and Montreal. Perry attended Rockcliffe Park Public School and Ashbury College, a boarding school in Ottawa. He had 4 younger maternal half-siblings, Caitlin, Emily, Will, and Madeline, as well as a younger paternal half-sister named Maria. His siblings would stand and applaud him for early performances. Perry had a perfectionist and obsessive personality, spending many hours perfecting his answering machine message. He also believed in God, with whom he had a very close relationship, calling himself a seeker. In his memoirs, Perry wrote that by the age of 14, he had become an alcoholic. He became addicted to Vicodin after a jet ski accident in 1997 and completed a 28-day rehab program at the Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation that year. His weight dropped to 128 pounds as he took as many as 55 Vicodin pills per day. In May 2000, at the age of 30, he was admitted to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center with alcohol-induced pancreatitis. While Perry said in 2002 that, although he had made an effort not to drink on the set of Friends, he did arrive with extreme hangovers and sometimes would shake or sweat excessively on set. During the later seasons of the series, he was frequently drunk or high on set. His castmates made efforts to help him, even staging an intervention, but were unsuccessful. In February 2001, Perry paused productions of Friends and Serving Sarah for 2 months so that he could enter inpatient rehabilitation for his addictions to Vicodin, methadone, amphetamines, and alcohol. He said later that, due to his substance use disorder, he had no memory of 3 years of his work on Friends. In 2018, Perry spent 5 months in a hospital for a gastrointestinal perforation. During the hospital stay, Perry nearly died after his colon burst from opioid abuse. He spent 2 weeks in a coma and used a colostomy bag for 9 months. Upon being admitted to the hospital, doctors told his family that Perry had a 2% chance of survival. He was connected to an extracorporeal membrane oxygenation (ECMO) machine. 2 years later, while attending rehab in Switzerland, Perry faked pain to get a prescription for 1,800 milligrams of hydrocodone per day and was having daily ketamine infusions. He was given propofol in conjunction with a surgery, which stopped his heart for 5 minutes. The resulting cardiopulmonary resuscitation, CPR, resulted in 8 broken ribs. He paid $175,000 for a private jet to take him to Los Angeles to get more drugs. When doctors there refused, Perry spent another $175,000 to take a private jet back to Switzerland. In 2022, he estimated that he had spent $9 million on his addiction, including 14 stomach surgeries, 15 stays in rehab, and therapy twice a week for 30 years, and had attended approximately 6,000 Alcoholics Anonymous meetings. In July 2011, Perry lobbied the United States Congress as a celebrity spokesperson for the National Association of Drug Court Professionals in support of funding for drug courts. He received a Champion of Recovery Award in May 2013 from the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy for opening Perry House, a rehab center in his former mansion in Malibu. In 2015, Perry sold the mansion and relocated its services. During the COVID-19 pandemic, he launched an apparel line inspired by Friends, with proceeds donated to the World Health Organization's COVID-19 Relief Fund. On October 28, 2023, Perry was found unresponsive in a hot tub at his home in Los Angeles. He was pronounced dead at 4:17 p.m. that day at the age of 54. On November 3, 2023, Perry's funeral was held at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Los Angeles, where he was buried. His father, mother, and stepfather attended, as did his 5 friends co-stars. The Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush song "Don't Give Up" was played. Perry was enamored with the song and referenced it in signed copies of his autobiography, released in part to help people suffering from depression or addiction issues. On December 15, 2023, Perry's death was revealed to have occurred due to acute effects of ketamine. Other circumstances that contributed to his death included the effects of buprenorphine, drowning, and coronary artery disease. The Los Angeles County Department of Medical Examiner said in a statement that at the high levels of ketamine found in his post-mortem blood specimens, the main lethal effects would be from both cardiovascular overstimulation and respiratory depression, while drowning contributes due to the likelihood of submersion into the pool as he lapsed into unconsciousness. Coronary artery disease contributes due to exacerbation of ketamine-induced myocardial effects on the heart. Perry had been receiving ketamine-assisted psychotherapy sessions to treat anxiety at the time of his death, his last known session of which having been the week prior to his death. However, the report stated, the ketamine in his system at death could not be from that infusion therapy, since ketamine's half-life is 3 to 4 hours or less. In May 2024, an investigation was opened by the Los Angeles Police Department to determine how Perry obtained the high dose of ketamine that caused his death. On August 15, 2024, indictments and charges were filed against 5 people: Perry's personal assistant, 2 doctors, and 2 drug dealers, including TV director Eric Fleming, alleging involvement in the distribution of ketamine that caused the death of Perry. According to U.S. Attorney Martin Estrada, Perry paid the 2 doctors $55,000 in cash for ketamine in the 2 months before his death. 5 individuals have been charged in connection with the 2023 death of actor Matthew Perry, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office. The charges, announced Thursday morning at a news conference in Los Angeles, come after investigators say they uncovered an underground network of drug sellers and suppliers they allege are responsible for distributing the ketamine, a potentially deadly drug, that killed Perry. The defendants include 2 doctors, Perry's live-in personal assistant, and a person referred to by authorities as the Ketamine Queen, according to a press release from the U.S. Attorney's Office. U.S. Attorney Martin Estrada said the defendants took advantage of Mr. Perry's addiction issues. They knew what they were doing was wrong, Estrada said. 3 of the 5 charged have reached a plea agreement. The other 2 defendants, Dr. Salvador Plasencia of Santa Monica, California, and Jasveen Sangha, who Estrada said ran what amounted to a drug-selling emporium in her home, were indicted on Wednesday, the U.S. Attorney said. Plasencia pleaded not guilty to charges including 1 count of conspiracy to distribute ketamine, 7 counts of distribution of ketamine, and 2 counts of altering and falsifying documents or records related to the federal investigation. He was held on a $100,000 unsecured bond and surrendered his DEA license, which allowed him to prescribe controlled substances, on an order from Magistrate Judge Alka Segar. His trial is set for October 8th. Sangha pleaded not guilty to 1 count of conspiracy to distribute ketamine, 1 count of maintaining a drug-involved premises, 1 count of possession with intent to distribute methamphetamine, 1 count of possession with intent to distribute ketamine, and 5 counts of distribution of ketamine. The judge revoked a bond Sangha previously had from another charge that was not shared during court and ordered she remain in detention. Prosecutors argued she is a significant risk to flee given her extensive international travel and dual United States and British citizenship, and that she appears to be funding herself through drug sales. Matthew Perry's journey began with unscrupulous doctors who abused their position of trust because they saw him as a payday, to street dealers who gave him ketamine in unmarked vials, DEA Administrator Ann Milgram said in the press release. Every day, the DEA works tirelessly with our federal, state, and local partners to protect the public and to hold accountable those that distribute deadly and dangerous drugs, whether they are local drug traffickers or doctors who violate their sworn oath to care for patients. When announcing the charges on Thursday, Estrada said investigators believe Perry fell back into addiction in fall 2023 and noted Perry's vulnerability as a recovering addict. Estrada alleged that Plasencia worked with Dr. Mark Chavez to supply Perry with ketamine, which Perry's assistant, Kenneth Iwamasa, would inject the actor with despite having no medical training. Chavez, a 54-year-old doctor from San Diego, has agreed to plead guilty to 1 count of conspiracy to distribute ketamine, according to the release. Iwamasa, a 59-year-old from Toluca Lake, California, pleaded guilty on August 7th to 1 count of conspiracy to distribute ketamine causing death, the release said. Authorities allege that Iwamasa also performed multiple injections on Perry on October 28, 2023, the day Perry died. Eric Fleming, 54, of Hawthorne, California, has also pleaded guilty to 1 count of conspiracy to distribute ketamine and 1 count of distribution of ketamine resulting in death, according to the U.S. Attorney. Fleming said in court documents that he distributed the ketamine that killed Perry, which Fleming said he obtained from Sangha, the press release added. Defendant Plasencia saw this as an opportunity to profit off of Mr. Perry, Estrada said. He wrote in a text message in September 2023, "I wonder how much this moron will pay?" He also stated in text messages that he wanted to be Mr. Perry's sole source of supply. Perry had detailed his decades-long struggles with drug addiction in his 2022 memoir, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing. He wrote that he began abusing prescription medication after he was involved in a jet ski accident on the set of the film Fools Rush In 1997 and was prescribed Vicodin. According to his book, Perry eventually escalated to taking up to 55 pills per day, which resulted in his significant weight loss that was visible during his time working on Friends. He noted that it was difficult to watch the physical transformation he went through during his time on the show. "I was like brutally thin and being beaten down so badly by the disease," Perry wrote. Ketamine has seen a surge in use in recent years as a treatment for depression, anxiety, and pain. People close to Perry told coroner's investigators that he was undergoing ketamine infusion therapy before his death, and he was being treated by at least 2 doctors, according to the Associated Press. Milgram added in the press conference that the desperation that led Perry to these individuals was not met with help, as it should have been with the doctors. This betrayal of trust is at the heart of this tragedy. She added, "Perhaps what has happened can help others and save lives." Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel more Fudgy Stories updates.